enamel, the charm was chipped and worn from years of rubbing. It was a cheap trinket, but the most precious thing she owned. She'd had it since she was 5 years old. Georgia rubbed it again now for luck, sending up a little prayer to Julia in heaven. "Help me show them I can do this, Julia," she whispered. "Let all those years of hard work, all my sacrifices finally pay off." It was time. "Is everything ready?" Georgia called out in French. The kitchen staff nodded in unison. "Oui, all is in order." Celine, one of the assistant chefs, responded crisply, not pausing as she deboned a fillet of sole. "Bon." Georgia slowly circled the kitchen, observing each station. Every member of the kitchen staff was performing their duties with well-oiled precision, and the kitchen rang with the sound of sharp steel dicing vegetables and the hiss and bubble of delicious things cooking in pots and cast-iron pans. It was just past 6 o'clock, not yet the dinner hour in Paris, but already the tables in the dining room were filling with tourists who typically ate earlier than Parisians. Tonight promised to be long and busy. Georgia gave a small nod of reassurance. So far, everything was running smoothly. "Pardon, Georgia, could you taste this pistou?" Ismail, the newest prep cook, stood at her elbow, anxiously holding out a spoonful of bright green sauce. "Cyril says it is inedible." He looked distressed. Georgia frowned and glanced over at Cyril, a hulking, swarthy man standing at the long, gleaming gas range. A Frenchman from Lyon, he had been working in kitchens longer than she'd been alive. Although he was skilled in the kitchen, he was often cruel to the other staff, particularly the younger prep cooks. Georgia found his meanness intolerable and tried to make up for it by being extra encouraging to those he cut down. "Inedible, she said, reaching for the spoon. "Let me see." She took the spoon and tasted a few drops of the pistou. For a brief moment, she felt a flutter of apprehension. Would she be able to taste the ingredients this time? Recently, her normally keen sense of taste had inexplicably and intermittently begun to fail her, a phenomenon that was mystifying and terrifying in equal measure. She concentrated hard. Garlic, basil, pistachio, Comte cheese. She exhaled in relief. She could taste it all. It was bright and fresh, very flavorful actually, though in truth missing a little something. "It's good," she assured Ismail, who was standing by her elbow like a puppy eager to please. "It just needs a little—" She tasted the pistou again, letting the ingredients speak to her. She could feel the nuttiness of the cheese at the hinge of her jaw, the raw garlic on the tip of her tongue, sharp and bright as steel hitting flint, that luxurious umami of the buttery roasted pistachios. What was it missing? She stilled herself and closed her eyes, allowing the clamor of the kitchen to die away until there were only the flavors in her mouth and the certainty that this dish was asking for something more. Her eyes popped open. Got it. She added 2 small pinches of fresh ground black pepper and a dash of lemon juice and tasted it again. Perfect. Ismail watched her closely. "How do you do that?" he asked in wonder. "How do you know exactly what it needs?" Georgia shrugged. "I don't know. I just feel it." She had always cooked by instinct. Etienne joked that as a chef she was more like a mystic than a scientist. And it was true. She had graduated from culinary school in the States and endured 12 years of brutal practical apprenticeship in various kitchens of Paris. As a chef, she used the techniques she had acquired every day in the kitchen, but she relied most on her sixth sense about food, an intuition that had rarely led her astray. That is, until recently. She pushed the thought away. For tonight, her luck seemed to be holding. Right now, that was enough. "Here, try this." She handed Ismail a tasting spoon dabbed with a few drops of the bright pistou. He tasted it. "C'est délicieux." He nodded approvingly. "It's delicious." "Good. Tell Cyril it's ready to serve." Ismail cast a nervous glance over to Cyril. "Could you tell him?" he asked meekly. "He won't believe me." The tips of his ears turned pink, and he looked down at his kitchen clogs, murmuring, "He called me garbage, only fit to take out the trash I cook." He said that?